Today we will be moving on to solid shapes. When you talk solid shapes are shapes which have three dimensions, namely the length, breadth and height. Examples include prism, cylinder, pyramid, cone and sphere. Now let's talk about the prism. A prism is a solid shape which has a uniform cross section. Look at this. So the cross section on the top and the bottom, they are uniform. So these are uniform cross section. These are prism. So a keyboard is a prism. A keyboard is a prism. This is a triangular base prism, trapezium, hexagonal base prism. It has two polygonal faces. You can see this is a square on top. So this is a polygon, a square, a four-sided plane figure, a triangle. This is a trapezium. So it will have it on at the bottom, it will have it at the top. At the bottom, this is an hexagon. At the bottom and the top. So 1, 2. A two polygonal faces. Examples include the cube. We have the keyboard. We have the triangular base prism. This is a triangle. The base here is triangle. On top also triangle. So this is a triangular base prism, a trapezium base prism, and hexagonal base prism. Now, if we want to talk about the volume of a prism, generally the volume of a prism is base area times height. You find the area of the base. If the base here is let's say this is square, so the area of this base, then you now look for the height. So multiply it by the height. That will be the volume. The base here is a triangle. Look for the area of this base is triangle. Then multiply it by the height, vertical height. The base here is what? A trapezium. Look for the area of this trapezium. Multiply it by the vertical height. Also, this is an hexagonal base prism. Look for the area of this base. Multiply it by the height. So that is how to look for the volume of a prism. Now, if you want to look for the area, so to look for the area of the prism, you will dismantle. If this is a keyboard now, you can see the side here. So this side, this is the shape. So you this side here, so is here. The other side, left hand is here. The one that is used to cover the side is here. So the top of this, keyboard, this is here. The bottom is here. So when you dismantle it, then you now look for the area of each of them. So when you look for the area of this of them, so you now add everything together. So the total surface area of a prism is the summation of the areas of the faces. So add the areas of these faces together. Look for the area of this one rectangle, this other rectangle, look for the area of this C, look for the area of this D, look for the area of this one, look for the area of the cover. So you add everything together. So that's how to look for the total surface area of a prism. Let's look at this triangular base prism also. Now you look for the area. So if this is the bottom and this is the top, so then this other side, if you look at this triangular base prism, this base and the top, so these are it. So this other side at the back here, this is it. This side that is to cover it, this side, this is it. This side that is to cover it, this side, this is it. So you first dismantle any prism you have, then look for the area. You look for the area of A, look for the area of B, a rectangle, look for the area of C, another rectangle, then look for this area of the base here, which is triangle, look for the area of the top, which is A. So you now add everything together. So that will now give you the total surface area of this. So generally we say that total surface area of a prism is the summation of the areas of the faces. Now let's move on to the cylinder. When you talk of the cylinder, a cylinder is a three-dimensional solid that holds two parallel bases joined by a curved surface at the fixed distance. So the two bases, the top which is a circle, the bottom which is a circle. So this is it. Then this side that is curved, this is it. So these bases are normally circular in shape like a circle, and the center of the bases are joined by a line segment which is called the axis. So the top and the bottom of the cylinder are circle. So now this side is now curved. So you now use a cover, you use the circle to cover it on top, use the circle to cover it at the bottom. That will give you a cylinder. So you realize that the curved side, they are curving. When you stretch it out, it's going to give you a rectangle. So we take it that the length of the circumference of a circle, realize that is 2 pi r. So the circumference here will now give you the length of the rectangle. Then the height will now give you the breadth here. So we now say that the volume of a cylinder will give you the base area. Volume of a cylinder is also generally the base area times the height. So the area of the base, which is a circle, will give us pi r square, then times the vertical height here. So we should give you the volume of a cylinder is now pi r squared h. Now when you talk of the curved surface area of a cylinder, so that means the curved surface area, this area that is curved, so that means the one that is just used to form the rectangle here. This rectangle that is used to form the curve that is used to make the side of the cylinder is what we are talking about, to be the curved surface area. This side, so we said that the length which is taken to be the circumference of the circle on top here, which was 2 pi r, then times the height. So the curved surface area will be 2 pi r h. Then when you talk of the total surface area of a cylinder, so that means you look for the area of the circle on top, look for the area of the circle on down, then look for the area of this rectangle. So area of the circle on top is pi r square, plus area of this rectangle here will give you 2 pi r h, plus the area of the bottom here will give you pi r square. So pi r square plus pi r square will give you 2 pi r square plus 2 pi r h. If you factorize them, 2 pi r is common to this and this. So 2 pi r into bracket. 2 pi r square divided by 2 pi r will give you half, plus 2 pi r h divided by 2 pi r will give you h. So total surface area of a cylinder will give you 2 pi r into bracket r plus h. Now, we are moving on to a pyramid. A pyramid. A pyramid is a three-dimensional shape. It has polygonal base and flat triangular faces which join at a common point. So a pyramid is a three-dimensional shape. It has a polygonal base and flat triangular faces which join at a common point known as the vertex. So this point where they all join is a vertex. That's the vertex. So you realize that the base, the base of this one is a triangle. So that is why we call it a triangular prism. The base of this one is what? A pyramid. So a square. That is why we call it a square base prism. The base of this one is an hexagon. That is why we call it an hexagonal prism, pyramid rather. Now you will now realize that in a pyramid, everything will join at the vertex. So in the pyramid, so you realize that instead of it to have a pyramid will only have one base. It has one polygonal base. This is just one. Then everything will meet at a vertex. This is just one. Everything will meet at a vertex. The base here is just one. Everything will meet at a vertex. So the sides here also will give you rectangles. So that is what we know as pyramid. So now let's look at the volume of a pyramid. Volume of a pyramid says that 1/3 base area times height. 1/3 base area times height. So that means you say 1/3 times, if the base is for a triangle, look for the area of a triangle. If it is a square, look for the area of the square. If it's a hexagon, look for the area of the hexagon times the vertical height of the pyramid. If you want to know the total surface area, also it is summation of all the face. That means you will dismantle like this square base pyramid. The base here is a square, so this is the side that is the triangular face at this side, then triangular face at this side, triangular face at this side, triangular face at this side. If you join it together, everything will form meet at the vertex, which will give you a square base pyramid. But now, to look for the area, you look for the area of each of them. Look for the area of A, area of B, area of C, which is also a triangle, area of E is a triangle, you look for it, area of D is a triangle, you look for it. The area of B is a square. So you now add everything together to give you the total surface area of a pyramid. So total surface area of pyramid is basically the summation of the area of the faces of the pyramid. Now, let's now go to the cone. A cone is a three-dimensional solid that has a circular base and a curved surface that meets at a vertex. So the base of the cone is a circle. Then this curved surface, is what is now. So this one is got from a sector. A sector of a circle is what is bent to now form this face here. So when you join it together here, so you form a cone, then close it by the bottom with a circle. So the volume of a cone is 1/3 pi r squared h. If you want to look for the curved surface area of a cone, curved surface area is the aspect, that part of the sector that is used to form the cone. So this part that is external here, that is used to form the cone, so is what we know as the curved surface. So the curved surface area will now be pi rl. So the radius at the bottom, they multiply by the slant height. L is the slant height. This L, if you use it to form a sector of a circle, you realize that it's going to be what? Form the radius of the circle. So this one will form the radius of the circle. But if you want to use it for a cone, it will now form the slant height of the cone. The radius of this sector will be equal to the slant height of the cone. So curved surface area of a cone is pi rl. Total surface area raw, the curved surface area plus the area of the base. So pi rl plus pi r squared. When you factorize, pi r is common to both. So that means to bracket L plus R. So generally, volume and surface area of common regular shapes, the ones that are very common that you can easily lay your hands on. So the volume of a cube is taken to be what? Length cube. That means a cube has all the sides to be equal. So if one equal side is taken to be L, so the cube multiply it 3 times. So length cube. Total surface area of a cube is taken to be 6L squared. That of the cubeboard, we having volume is what? Length times breadth times height. Total surface area will be 2 into bracket length times breadth plus length times height plus breadth times height. Then that of the cylinder is volume is what? Pi r squared h. For the curved surface area of the cylinder is 2 pi r h. Then total surface area of the cylinder is 2 pi r h plus 2 pi r squared. That of the cone, we have in volume is 1/3 pi r squared h. That of the curved surface area of the cone is pi rl. Total surface area of the cone is pi rl plus pi r squared. That of the pyramid, volume of the pyramid is 1/3 base area times the height. So you realize that the surface area of a pyramid, that's not consistent. So that means you will have to dismantle it and get the total surface area. Now let us look at this work practice. Number 1. So you can see this shape, this and this. A. Identify each solid shape above. So what are their names? So identify each one solid shape above. B. Which of the solid is not a prism? Which one out of this is not a prism? So give reason for your answer. Give the reason why it is not a prism. Then you are going to do this number 2. So you realize that in the number 2, you can see each of these shape here. Identify each solid shape above. Which of the solid is not a pyramid? Which one is not a pyramid here? So you tell me the one that is not a pyramid, then give reason for your answer. Make sure you like, subscribe and comment. Thank you.